with these fights. Let's go to the main event, and that is Vergil Ortiz. Now, this kid, to me, and I'm going to go out and just be very quite honest, this kid looks special to me. Now, I know he's facing someone that maybe isn't the greatest fighter. Samuel Vargas is not a bad fighter. He went the distance with Amir Khan. He went fairly far with, I think he went half the distance with Earl Spence. This kid has been basically a mid-level fighter, someone that upper echelon, kind of a gatekeeper. That was really prevalent just based on how well he had a great chin, how much punishment he took in this fight. So let's talk about Vergil Ortiz and why I think he might be special. Number one, right off the bat, just the fundamentals of having a great jab like that. I mean, his jab is powerful, meaningful, and well utilized. It's one of the first things I notice about a boxer is, do they utilize a jab, and do they utilize it well? And Vergil Ortiz utilizes it in spades. I love when I see that. So check right off the box. Number two, he's got a great trainer, obviously. I mean, there's no question about, the pedigree of his trainer, and it's just, Garcia's been there for a long time now. It was sad that he couldn't have him there, but at the same time, with COVID and everything like that, I get it. Moving on from that was the power. The power of what we saw, the fact he has these knockouts, I think he's 16-0 with 16 knockouts, is obvious. And obviously he was going for that in this fight, and he had to work for it a little bit more. Part of that's headhunting and being the headliner. Part of that, I think, is just being in there with a guy that has a good chin. If you look at his box record, Vargas has a very solid record in terms of having a good chin. Add on top of that, he's 22 years old. He's only going to get stronger. He's only going to get more powerful. And then you add in, I'm going to show this clip right here of his footwork. And this is what excites me when I see a kid do stuff like this. A 22-year-old with footwork like this. That's not something you see every day. Is it the most incredible? Has it never been done? No, it's been done for a long time. But when you see a 22-year-old do that, and it's so instinctual, he's not thinking. When you're moving like that, you're not thinking, you're just reacting. And that's what he does to get those angles, to find those weak points. That, to me, signifies a real interesting fighter. I mean, and to do it at the speed and just, to me, I just saw something a little bit special. Vergil Ortiz is the future of the welterweight division. He's 22 years old. When he gets bigger and he gets stronger, he is going to be a menace in this weight class. Now, I know he's talked about Danny Garcia. He's talked about Thurman in particular to fight. I think both guys are getting up there in age. Both guys are not quite the fighter they were. Thurman in particular, I'd want to point out, because we know with Thurman in particular, he has an issue with making weight. He's openly talked about this several times. He's talked about walking around at 180, 185. So for me, if I was Vergil, I would go right after Thurman. Thurman is, to me, the guy that would fit well for him, because he's going to have to just get so weight drained that the power that Thurman used to have in being that one time is not going to be there. That's my opinion. I think Danny Garcia is a good fighter, but I mean, this kid, Vergil Ortiz, is going to be, in my opinion, the future of the welterweight division. So for